found a chest on the beach with WW2 letters inside, and now I can't stop thinking about the lives in them.
Okay, so for today's deep dive, we're looking at something really unexpected, found on just a regular beach. Think about like a small Maine coastal town, not the pretty postcard kind, but, wind-beaten. Gray sand, freezing water, stuff washing ashore. That's the scene. And our mission here is to sort of unpack what was found, the story behind it. So this whole thing starts super early one morning, can't sleep, go for a beach walk, right? And there, near some washed up wood, is this small wooden chest, waterlogged, not like a pirate chest or anything, more shoebox size, dark wood, brass hinges, all rusted up.
Yeah.
And you're immediately thinking, okay, what's in this thing? Hopefully not something creepy.
Right, the first thought is probably something weird, but what was actually inside, well, it's much more profound. Dozens of letters, yellowed, really brittle paper, some still in envelopes tied with this old fraying twine. And the dates you see on 1943, 1944, military postmarks, it immediately clicks, World War II, all addressed to the same person, living just a few miles inland from that beach.
Wow. So you're sitting there, wet sand, holding these pieces of history. And the first one you pick up is from a soldier to his wife, who's talking about the noise in the sky keeping him up at night, dreaming about her hands or the smell of lilacs back home. Little things. And then there's that line, maybe hopeful, maybe desperate, about being back by Christmas.
Oh, see, mood.
What did those small things tell us? The smell of lilacs, compared to big history books.
Exactly. Those details, they're everything. They show you the person, right? Not just the soldier. It's the stark contrast, the sheer brutality of war, and then these incredibly gentle thoughts of home. And then you find a letter from her, the wife. And it paints this whole other picture, the home front. Rationing sugar, their little boy learning to whistle everyday life. But then she mentions, just gut-wrenching news, a neighbor's husband killed in Italy. She says it left her shaking for hours, and she signs off, forever yours, until the tide brings you home. That juxtaposition, it's the reality, isn't it? The big war is made of all these small personal heartbreaks. History often smooths that over.
Oh, man. Until the tide brings you home. That's heavy. And there are other things in the bubbles, too, right? More specific details. Like one letter was just a list. Names of guys in his unit with notes next to them, like lost at St. Lo, which is just a brutal, awful battle, or just wounded. And another one had a flower inside, perfectly pressed.
A pressed flower, yeah. Sent thousands of miles. Think about that. These aren't just stories, they're artifacts. Primary sources, you could say. Tangible things. They give you that raw feeling, that connection you just don't get from official reports or statistics. So the obvious question comes up. What happened? How does the story end? And the last bundle, it's different. The handwriting changes, the whole tone. It's her again, the wife. But the ink is smudged. The paper feels warped. Like maybe she cried on it. It's not a love letter this time. It's the goodbye. She writes about the day the officer came, that knock on the door, how she somehow knew before he even said anything, waking up later on the kitchen floor, her son crying next to her. And she says she buried that pressed flower he sent. Put it in the garden so something of you will still grow here.
That's incredibly sad. Just devastating. And the last line she wrote.
The last line, it just hits you. I don't know how to live in a world you don't come back to.
Wow.
Wow.
Just, wow. It really shows the personal cost, doesn't it? Beyond the battlefield.
Absolutely. It's the echo of loss. The person who found the chest, they were really careful, dried every letter out, and they wonder, how did this box end up in the sea? Was it lost in a storm? Or maybe put there deliberately, thrown away in grief? We don't know. But connecting it bigger picture, these artifacts, they really do bridge time, don't they? They make the past feel incredibly present.
Yeah. Did the finder ever figure out more about them, the people?
Yeah.
They did some research, yeah. A little bit of digging. Found the address on the letters. It's gone now.
Yeah.
Just a parking lot for a strip mall. They found the gravestones, though. His death date, 1944. Hers, 1979. Buried together. But the son, the little boy learning to whistle, no trace. His story's lost.
Yeah, that part remains unknown. But the discoverer, they kept the chest. Felt it was too important, too personal, maybe. They said holding those letters, it didn't feel like holding paper. It felt like holding the weight of everything war takes away. And that's really it, isn't it? History isn't abstract. It's made of lives and loss and love.
So thinking about this whole discovery, this deep dive, what really stands out to you?
For me, it's how powerful these personal items are. They're not just letters. They're direct lines to human experience. They give you that immediate, unfiltered feeling of a specific time and, more importantly, a specific life within that time. Official records can't always do that. It really forces you to confront the emotional reality, the true cost, and how these stories, even small ones found by chance, they keep echoing. They're still here, reminding us.
They were going to fire me, but I accidentally found out about my boss's little side hustle.
A story straight off Reddit. Real pro-revenge territory.
Yeah, it's quite the narrative.
Our mission, to figure out how this, well, pretty ordinary worker uncovered a huge corporate mess and what we can maybe learn from it.
Exactly. It's fascinating not just as a story, but for what it says about, human behavior under pressure.
And how big secrets can unravel from the smallest things.
Like a stray comment or, well, we'll get to that.
Okay, so let's set the scene. Our main character isn't some executive. They're a procurement specialist. Mid-sized manufacturing place, upstate New York.
Right, the person getting the raw materials.
Yeah, keeps their head down, does the job. Apparently really good at negotiating prices, but definitely not a corporate type, not into office politics.
Got it. Just focus on the test.
But then things start feeling off.
With the boss, Todd. Todd.
Yeah, mid-50s, always tanned, calls everything the biz. Classic.
I think we can picture Todd.
So Todd starts leaving our person off meeting invites. Emails aren't getting returned. Just weird vibes.
Subtle stuff. The kind of thing that makes you uneasy.
Exactly. Then they overhear Todd talking to HR in the break room. Something like, yeah, we just need to get our ducks in a row before.
Before what? Ominous.
Right. The immediate thought is, okay, downsizing, layoffs are coming, I'm on the chopping block.
Which is a totally normal reaction. Your brain instantly goes there. Job security feels threatened. You connect the dots. Maybe you connect dots that aren't even there sometimes.
Oh, absolutely. That feeling of unease can spiral pretty fast into, full-on paranoia.
But in this case,
yeah,
maybe the paranoia wasn't so unfounded.
Well, that's the twist, isn't it? Distinguishing real danger from just, standard office anxiety.
So how did they figure it out?
Okay, get this. The moment of clarity, it happens in the supply closet.
The supply closet. Seriously.
Seriously, they're in there fighting with a broken copier. You couldn't make it up.
That's perfect.
And they hear Todd's voice. There's a vent, apparently perfectly placed, like a direct line.
A gossip megaphone.
Pretty much. And they hear Todd, clear as day, talking to the head of operations.
Oh, wow. About what?
About marking up purchase orders by 20%, billing the client the inflated price, and then running the extra cash through a shell account.
Whoa. Okay, so direct confirmation.
Yeah.
Not just paranoia.
Not at all. He even mentioned the accountant was squared away, getting their piece of the action.
A shell account.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's classic fraud. Basically, a fake company set up just to funnel money, make it look like legitimate payments.
And the whole thing wasn't buried in some complex financial system.
It was just overheard, next to a broken copier.
It's kind of mind-blowing, right? How fragile these big schemes can be. A single eavesdropper.
Absolutely astonishing.
So for our protagonist, this changes everything. It's not, am I getting laid off anymore?
No, it's they're setting me up to take the fall.
Exactly. That fear turns into this cold, hard realization. They knew they had to do something, and fast.
So they started digging.
Immediately. Pulling old purchase orders, invoices, billing records, looking for proof.
And did they find it?
Oh, yeah. Found weird payments, stuff going to a vendor they'd never even heard of. Pinnacle Solutions, LLC.
Sounds vaguely legitimate, but...
Not to be a P.O. box. Registered to Todd's brother-in-law.
Oh, come on. Seriously. The brother-in-law.
Yep. And it wasn't just the markups. They found manipulated payroll, too. Phantom overtime, fake bonuses, the whole 9 yards.
Wow. It just kept getting deeper.
It really did. A multi-layered scheme.
And this brings us back to why this story matters for you listening right now. It's about vigilance, yes, but it's also about intuition.
Right. And realizing that sometimes the most important information isn't in the official reports.
It comes from these incidental moments. Fixing a copier, overhearing a snippet of conversation, especially when your gut is already telling you something's wrong. You become more receptive.
So this ordinary task leads to uncovering this massive fraud, all because they were paying attention.
Present, aware, and finally had undeniable proof to back up those initial weird vibes.
So wrapping this up, what's the big takeaway here? Maybe it's that the really valuable stuff, the insights, aren't always where you expect them.
Not in the spreadsheets necessarily.
Right. Sometimes it's in the background noise, the unexpected whispers, things you might normally ignore.
Like a supply closet vent.
Exactly. So maybe think about this. What overlooked, unassuming vent in your own world, your job, your life, might be holding a surprise revelation you just haven't quite heard yet.
My neighbor became my best friend and ran off with my daughter when she turned 18.
You know that feeling, right? That sense of comfort with a neighbor, the kind of trust that builds up over, well, years. The easy feeling that the people close by are safe.
Safe.
It's a story of pretty profound betrayal, where the bad guy wasn't some stranger.
Right. And what's really striking is how these very ordinary, everyday relationships can sometimes hide these incredibly painful truths. This is a raw account from a popular forum online.
Yeah, it really makes you rethink things.
Definitely makes you reevaluate, who you let into your inner circle.
Okay, so let's get into it. The story focuses on this neighbor, Tom. Moved in about 8 years back, the poster says.
Fresh off a divorce.
Yeah, and he had this pickup truck that apparently looked like it had lived 3 lives already. And a laugh you could hear through closed windows. You know the type.
Yeah. And at first it was all totally normal neighbor stuff. Borrowing a lawnmower, helping shovel snow, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh, and there was this one time the poster locked himself out. Tom apparently climbed in a window to let him in. Like a middle-aged Spider-Man, he called it.
So, establishing himself as helpful,
Right.
reliable.
Exactly. And it grew from there. Porch beers, talking sports, traffic, the usual stuff. Tom started coming to family cookouts, Thanksgiving.
Even Christmas morning. Wow.
Yeah, claiming the poster made better coffee than Starbucks.
Yeah.
The wife liked him. The daughter, Emily, she was 10 when he moved in, thought he was kind of funny.
Funny in a weird dad way, I think the post said.
That's the one. So fully integrated, trusted. They even gave him a spare key.
A spare key. That's a big level of trust right there.
Huge. Then Emily gets older, becomes a teenager. Tom becomes like this extra uncle.
Right, teaching her practical things, like changing oil in her car, fixing a leaky faucet.
Yeah. And the poster, the dad, he appreciated it first. I thought it was good, positive male influence maybe.
Standard helpful neighbor.
But here's where it starts to get, well, unsettling in hindsight. Looking back, some things just hit different,
The retrospective red flags.
Totally. Like how Tom always made sure Emily had extra time to chat after school, or how he'd slip her $20 for gas or emergency pizza, he'd say.
And at the time, it just seemed generous, maybe a bit overly friendly, but harmless.
Exactly. Brushed off.
Yeah.
But how common is that, really? Missing those signs when someone's already inside your circle of trust?
Oh, it's incredibly common. We're just not wired to see threats from people we've already labeled as safe, especially when it's gradual like that. You rationalize it. He's just being nice. He's like family.
Right. Until Emily's 18th birthday party.
Okay, what happened there?
Tom brings a speaker, beer for the adults. His gift to Emily. A really fancy leather backpack. Way nicer, the poster says, than anything he would have bought her.
A bit much, maybe.
And the hug she gave him, the poster felt it was long. Too long. His sister apparently gave him a weird look, too, that gut feeling again.
That little alarm bell somebody noticed.
Yeah. Then, just 2 weeks later, Emily says she's moving out for a bit to figure herself out.
Okay. Like a college dorm. Or with friends.
That's what the dad thought. But no. He finds out when he goes over to Tom's place looking for a rake he'd lent him. And Emily answers the door, wearing Tom's hoodie.
Wow. Just
like that. And she tells him, casually, that they're together.
Oh, man.
She describes just standing there like an idiot, mouth dry, stomach twisting. Then Tom walks out of the kitchen holding 2 coffee mugs, and suddenly every laugh we'd shared felt like a punch. I mean, can you imagine?
Devastating. Utterly devastating. The betrayal is just immense.
The fallout was, quote, ugly. Wife cried for days. The sister immediately called it grooming.
Which, based on the timeline, the building of trust, the focus on her as she grew up, that term fits the pattern often described. Establishing trust, meeting needs, normalizing attention over years.
Yeah, this poster just called it betrayal. But Emily, she fired back, called her dad controlling, said she was an adult, it was her choice.
That's a common defense mechanism too, unfortunately. Asserting independence even when the relationship dynamic is deeply problematic.
But what's almost as disturbing is the neighborhood reaction, or lack of reaction.
What do you mean?
He says, doesn't seem to care. Still waved to Tom. One guy even joked, well, at least she didn't run off with some stranger.
Ugh, that kind of comment, it just minimizes the profound breach of trust. It speaks to a really uncomfortable societal tendency sometimes to normalize or ignore abuse when it comes from someone familiar, someone inside. It's easier than confronting the reality.
Yeah, it's easier than admitting maybe we missed something too.
Exactly.
So now the poster just avoids his own porch. Keeps the blinds shut, headphones in, can't stand seeing them. Says Tom's laugh, the one he used to like, sounds like nails on a chalkboard.
The sound associated with friendship now signifies betrayal. Awful.
He says the deepest pain is missing the friend I thought I had and realizing that guy never existed. That he was maybe just waiting for my daughter to be old enough.
Chilling. It really underscores how vulnerability doesn't always come from the unknown stranger, but from familiarity itself.
Yeah.
From the people we trust the most.
It's a terrible lesson in how manipulation can wear the mask of friendship right up until the moment it drops. It forces you to ask tough questions about who you let close.
Absolutely. Which really brings us to the core question this story raises, doesn't it? What does this mean for how we understand trust? Especially when the biggest threats might come from relationships we really cherish.
Yeah. It leaves you with the narrator's final, pretty bleak thought. Don't get too comfortable. Sometimes the monster isn't the stranger. It's the guy drinking beer on your porch.
Oh.
Makes you think twice, doesn't it?
My neighbor kept stealing my parking spot, so I buried his garage in snow up to the roof.
Well, a bit different. It's from an online petty revenge thread.
Ah, those can be gold mines.
Right. This one tells a story about a neighborly fight over parking, but with a resolution that's impressively cold.
Yeah.
Literally.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Our mission today is basically to unpack how this simple parking thing blew up into this, epic snow revenge plot.
Yeah.
So, set the scene, mid-sized city, parking's tough, competitive.
Always is, yeah.
And our protagonist has this assigned spot, paid extra for it, clearly marked. Number 4.
Should be simple.
Should be, but I have a feeling it wasn't.
Not at all. Spot kept getting taken.
It really shows what happens when those little boundary crossings, like taking someone's spot, just keep happening. It's like a mini broken window theory for personal space,
Exactly. And when the official ways to fix it fail, people get creative.
Yeah.
Or maybe desperate.
They find their own solutions, definitely.
So the bad guy in this winter tale is a new neighbor. We'll call him Brad. Big attitude, even bigger truck, a lifted F-150. The truck, of course.
And almost immediately, Brad decides spot number 4, our protagonist's paid spot, is his preferred parking location.
Right.
And look, our person tried being reasonable first. Polite requests, left notes.
Standard playbook.
Totally. Even called the landlord. And the landlord's advice. Get this. You're adults. Figure it out.
Oh, that's helpful. Really stepping up there.
Right. And Brad's response to being asked not to park there, just a text. Olree with a winky face.
Wow. Okay, that's just blatant disrespect right there. That winky face adds a whole layer.
It really does. Talk about infuriating.
And that dismissal, that's often the tipping point, isn't it? When you try the normal routes, you try being decent, and you just get laughed off.
Yeah.
It shows how trust just crumbles when the rules or the people meant to enforce them offer zero backup. You feel kind of pushed into a corner.
Absolutely. And that corner led straight into a massive snowstorm, like a historic level. Dumped almost 3 feet of snow in about 36 hours.
Okay, perfect storm brewing? Maybe.
Literally. And the key detail, guess whose truck was parked in spot number 4 when the blizzard hit?
Has to be Brad's F-150.
Bingo. And Brad's own garage driveway. Empty. And apparently, it was perfectly positioned for this, natural wind tunnel effect. Snow just piled up there anyway.
Oh, the irony is delicious.
But here's where the petty becomes genius. Our protagonist sees this opportunity, spends hours shoveling.
Hours. Clearing their own spot.
Not initially. Shoveling all the snow from their spot, yeah, but also the sidewalk snow, the alleyway snow.
Yeah.
Everything nearby.
Okay, where is this going?
Right onto Brad's empty garage driveway, packed down, layer upon layer, creating this, and I quote, glorious towering wall of compacted snow.
No way. How high?
Right up to the roof line of the garage door. Completely buried it.
Whoa. That's commitment. That's next level.
Pretty well, right?
It really makes you think, though, about creative problem solving versus maybe escalating things. I mean, the beauty of it is that it didn't damage anything, right?
Correct. No property damage.
But incredibly effective. Brad was totally blocked, couldn't get into his garage, and it took him, 3 days?
3 days, yeah. With an ice chopper apparently hacking away at what the original poster called a small glacier.
A small glacier. That paints a picture. It's clever, but what does that say about taking justice into your own hands when you feel ignored?
I think it says you reach a point where you feel you have no other option. The system failed. The neighbor was disrespectful. What else was left?
A fair point. Did it work? Long term.
Amazingly, yes. Brad hasn't parked in spot 4 since. Not once.
Message received, loud and clear.
And the bonus. Other neighbors apparently saw this, got inspired, and started their own versions of snow karma whenever Brad parked like a jerk elsewhere.
Oh, that's fascinating. Community enforcement.
Yeah. Eventually, it pressured him into actually using his own garage, quote, like a normal person.
So the unconventional approach actually reset the boundaries for everyone. Seems like it. Which brings us back to the source's final thought, which I love. Sometimes the high road is blocked by 3 feet of snow. Take the scenic route.
That's a great line. It really sums it up. It forces you to consider, when dealing with people who just push and push, maybe sometimes words aren't enough.
Maybe action, even petty action, speaks louder.
Maybe. A clear, memorable, non-damaging action can definitely redefine things when talking fails. It leaves us asking, though, and maybe you listening can think about this too, what really stands out to you about how this person created their own form of justice here? Was it justified? Effective? Maybe a bit of both?
My ex told me I'd never find better, so I started dating his older brother.
Really, really wild Reddit thread.
Oh, yeah. Which one?
This is from user Extra Onion Rings over in the Burpity Revenge community.
Ah, okay. Petty revenge, always interesting.
Totally. And our mission here is basically to unpack this breakup story that just takes this completely unexpected turn. It touches on resilience, connections, and just that delicious irony life throws at you sometimes.
Sounds intriguing. What's the hook?
Get this. Someone gets told they'll never find better. And, well, let's just say they did, in maybe the most personal, satisfying way you could imagine.
Okay, I'm listening. So it's not just about getting even, it sounds like.
Exactly. It's more about this shift in perspective, really.
Yeah.
Triggered by a super smug comment from the ex.
Ah, the classic parting shot that backfires. Love those.
Precisely. So the narrator, she'd been with this guy, let's call him Jake, for about a year and a half. Met on Bumble.
Okay. Standard start. Any early warning signs?
Oh, yeah. She calls the whole relationship a dumpster fire. Apparently there were red flags from the get-go.
Yeah.
Gym selfies, blurry fishing pic on his profile.
Ah, the classics.
Routine involved Netflix on his crumb-covered couch, him always forgetting his wallet at Target.
Oh, that one.
And just scrolling Instagram while she was talking. Like, total disinterest.
Right. That's not just flaky. That's disrespectful. It often escalates, too. People rationalize it until something big happens.
And it did. The breaking point was, well, cheating. Blatant cheating.
How did she find out?
Okay, this is the kicker. She saw a notification pop up on his phone.
Oh, no.
While she was using it to order pizza. Because he was paranoid about his data or something.
The irony. What did the notification say?
It was from an Ashley, and it said, "Last night was amazing."
Oof. Subtle. And Jake's excuse. Let me guess.
Pretty much what you'd expect. Oh, we were just flirting, and Ashley's going through a tough time,
Wow. Textbook non-apology. So did she blow up?
Actually, no. She said she's not really a revenge person, more the type to, rant to her friends over mozzarella stick.
Relatable.
So she just packed her stuff, hoodie, charger, pride, and was ready to leave. No big scene.
Dignified exit. Good for her.
But as she's walking out the door, Jake hits her with it. That infamous line.
Don't tell me.
You're never going to find better than me.
Ugh. There it is. The smugness.
Exactly. And that, she said, that flipped a switch. Not for revenge planning, maybe, but just resolve.
I can imagine that kind of dismissal can be powerful fuel.
Totally. Because then, about a month later, she's at a local brewery.
Okay.
And runs into Matt, Jake's older brother. She'd met him a few times before, like at family BBQs.
No way. Jake's brother.
Yep. And Matt apparently is the polar opposite of Jake.
How so?
Well, she describes him as quiet, tall, wears flannel, works in IT. But more importantly, he actually listened, remembered birthdays, opened doors.
Basic human decency, then. Unlike Jake.
Pretty much. Brought her coffee the way she liked it without asking.
Yeah.
And Cruz, he owned and used a vacuum cleaner.
Huh. The bar was low, but Matt cleared it. So, chemistry.
Apparently so. A real connection, she says. Not something done out of spite, just genuinely finding someone better.
Okay, so they start seeing each other. How did that play out? Discreetly.
They tried, we're just hanging out as friends, but small town.
Right. Word gets around fast, so Jake found out.
Oh, he found out. And his reaction was, well, explosive.
Let me guess. Angry texts.
All caps angry text. Starting with, WTF is wrong with you?
Classy.
Followed by the classic accusation, you're only doing this to hurt me.
Making it all about him again. But what was her perspective? Was it about hurting him?
That's the key part. She says, no, it wasn't about hurting Jake. It was about finding a genuinely better human being who she actually connected with.
Right. So the fact that Jake was hurt by it.
That was just, as she put it, a bonus.
That's quite the perspective shift. It's not about revenge per se, but about building something better for herself, and the ex's feelings are just collateral damage, sort of.
Exactly. It's about reclaiming her own narrative.
Yeah.
And then comes the ultimate validation.
From who?
Jake's mom.
Get out. Really?
Yeah. Apparently the mom loves the narrator now, invites her to Sunday dinners,
Wow.
and even accidentally leaves her an old family group text that Jake isn't in anymore.
Ouch. That's cold. So Jake just became irrelevant.
Completely irrelevant to her new happy relationship.
Which just circles back perfectly to his original comment, doesn't it?
It really does. You'll never find better. And she didn't just find better.
She found the best in his own family tree. Wow.
Incredible, right?
It really highlights how sometimes the most potent response to being dismissed isn't about attack, but about thriving.
Totally. So it kind of makes you think, doesn't it? When someone writes you off like that.
Yeah. Maybe the most powerful form of, revenge isn't about causing harm directly.
Maybe it's just about building a genuinely happy life for yourself.
Yeah.
Proving them utterly wrong, but almost accidentally.
That unexpected, ironically satisfying outcome. Living well really is the best revenge sometimes. TIFU by faking my degree and now being invited to teach at the same university I graduated from.
You spend years, maybe even decades, building a really successful career. You finally made it, achieved your dreams.
Right.
And then, boom, a secret you've kept buried for ages. It just resurfaces. And in the most, ironic and terrifying way possible.
Yeah, that's quite the hook.
It really is. You shared this incredible story with us. We're looking at the unexpected consequences of what started as a white lie.
But it escalated, right? Became a huge professional landmine.
Exactly. So our mission today is to unpack that journey. Someone faked a degree years ago, and now they might be exposed very publicly. Mm-hmm. We want to explore the pressure, the psychological side of it, and what the specific story tells us about, the line between credentials on paper and actual ability.
That perceived versus real capability thing, it's a fascinating tension.
Okay, let's get into it. Yeah. So our protagonist's story, it starts a few years back. Things weren't great.
Financially struggling, you mean?
Yeah, broke, pretty desperate. They were doing all sorts of jobs, barista, dog walker, temp receptionist, that kind of thing.
Just trying to get by while aiming higher.
Right, trying really hard to break into their dream field, which was corporate communications. But there was a big hurdle.
The degree requirement.
Yep. Every job ad basically wanted a bachelor's in communications or PR. And they only had, 2 years of college completed.
Ah, so close, yet so far in the eyes of HR sometimes.
Precisely. And here's where it gets, really interesting. One night, maybe after a couple of glasses of wine, they had this idea.
A risky one, I'm guessing.
Very. They found some shady website, paid $150 and got a fake diploma. Looked super official.
From where? Did it say?
Midwest State University. Totally made up, obviously. They even gave themselves honors and a fake graduation date.
Wow. Okay. And the craziest part is, it worked. At first.
Immediately.
Yeah.
That's what's wild. Within a week of using that fake degree on applications, they landed a job. Mid-sized marketing firm.
And no checks.
Nothing. It says here, no background check, no transcript request. Nothing.
Yeah, that's surprising. But it does happen. Sometimes things slip through, especially maybe at smaller or mid-sized places back then.
It seems so. And look, for the next 5 years, they didn't just get by, they excelled. genuinely.
Okay, so they had the actual skills.
Absolutely. It went from junior copywriter up to senior content manager, led viral campaigns, handled big contracts, managed million-dollar projects.
So they proved their capability day in, day out. Built a real life around it too, sounds like.
Totally. Bought a car, got a cat named Biscuit. Life was good. On the surface.
But that foundation.
Exactly. So everything seemed fine, they're successful, competent. But then, last Tuesday, as they put it all came crashing down.
How? What happened?
An email from HR subject line. Exciting opportunity.
Oh no, I have a bad feeling about this.
You should. It was an invitation to be a guest lecturer.
Let me guess.
At Midwest State University, their supposed alma mater, for the PR and Communications Senior Seminar.
Oh, that is brutal irony. The university that doesn't exist wants them to speak.
The email praised their impressive career trajectory, called them a shining example of our program's success. They even wanted to feature them on the alumni page.
Wow. Okay, connecting this to the bigger picture. This is the moment that lie transforms, doesn't it?
Right.
It's not a stepping stone anymore. It's a massive weight.
A crushing weight. And their immediate reaction, pure panic, they actually accepted the invitation.
Accepted. Why? That just digs a hole deeper.
I know. Impulse, maybe. Fear. They immediately started Googling stuff like, can you go to jail for faking a degree?
Oh, man. And how to give a speech without mentioning education, I bet.
That too. And here's the thing, the real kicker. They are good at their job. They're qualified in practice.
But that one lie threatens to just erase all the genuine achievements. It's like everything they built could just vanish.
And the pressure just kept mounting. They thought about confessing to their boss.
Difficult conversation, but maybe necessary.
Well, before they could, the boss mentioned the invitation, expressed how proud they were, said our protagonist deserved the recognition.
Oof. That makes confessing feel like letting everyone down, like a betrayal.
Exactly. Then the final blow. A follow-up email from the university.
Going out?
They needed a short bio for the website feature, and they specifically asked for graduation year and honors.
The exact fake details from the diploma.
Exact details. This isn't just about possibly losing a job anymore. This is public humiliation. Career implosion.
Just devastating.
So you end up with this person who really did achieve success. Real success. Through talent, through hard work.
Yeah, undeniably.
But their whole career, their whole professional identity is balancing on this single lie from years ago. They described it perfectly, not as a time bomb, but a landmine.
Well, a landmine. Yeah, that fits. You can walk around for years perfectly fine.
Until you take that one wrong step, and then you're toast. Everything's gone.
It really forces you to think, doesn't it? What is the true value we put on credentials versus what someone can actually do?
Right. Does the paper matter more than the proven skill?
And how does carrying a secret like that shape you, even when you are succeeding? It's a powerful story. It reminds us that, yeah, a lie might get your foot in the door.
But living that lie, especially when your real work speaks for itself, creates this incredibly complicated, maybe unsustainable reality.
It definitely leaves you wondering, are our systems for hiring and recognizing talent actually finding the best people? Or do they sometimes inadvertently push people into corners where lies feel like the only option? Something to think about.
Thanks for being with us.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.